Hey everyone, what is up? Pop Daddy here, and I am here with another episode. And this week I'm looking to a few new the streaming services series that some have been asked when you're going to get around to reviewing this, when are you going to get around to reviewing that. I've got that plus an extra cool treat, so let's get started. Since its inception in the late 60s, Scooby-Doo has been a popular hit with both kids and adults. Those kids have grown up into adults, and those adults have become parents whose kids like Scooby-Doo, and those kids have grown up into parents, and it just goes on and on. Now, the ones that grew up in the late 60s thought that was the best version ever. And with the movies and the Scooby and Shaggy and the Scrappy-Doo, when a pup named Scooby-Doo debuted in 1989, a lot of those who grew up with Scooby-Doo said that was the worst one ever. Those who grew up with a pup named Scooby-Doo became later teens, early adults, in the early 2000s when the live-action Scooby-Doo came out, and those people said that that was the worst one ever. Then the same about the sequel. Then when there was Scooby-Doo Get a Clue, they said that was the worst one ever. Then the prequel movie in 2009, they said that was the worst version ever. Then the Velma and Daphne prequel movie in 2018 was the worst one ever. Then there was the Be Cool Scooby-Doo, where people would say, I'm glad I grew up with the original Scooby-Doo and not this one. Well, now comes the worst Scooby-Doo ever, according to everybody. And after watching the first episode, what can I say but they're right. Velma comes to us from writer, actor, comedian Mindy Kaling, best known as Kelly on The Office. And when I first heard of this, I had an open mind. I thought it was going to be good. I thought it was going to be pretty funny. It was going to be geared more towards adults. And after watching the first episode, all I can say is I have no desire to watch anymore. This was, to put it bluntly, this is a Scooby-Doo show for people who don't like Scooby-Doo, for people who don't know about Scooby-Doo, who've never watched an episode of Scooby-Doo, who just want an adult cartoon with swearing and gore and stuff like that. I thought I'd give it a chance. After watching one episode, I have no desire to watch anymore. It's not good. It's not great. I laughed maybe once. I think it was because I was so desperate for a laugh. But I just watched one episode and I was It's no Scooby and there's Shaggy's weird. Allegedly, they couldn't use Scooby. And Shaggy, they couldn't use Shaggy, which is why the Shaggy character is named Norville, which is Shaggy's real name. But the show just starts off, and right out of the starting gate, it trips and it fails for the rest of the episode. And I was like, well, I'll give it a few episodes. After episode 1, I don't want to watch anymore. And no one I've heard of said you should catch this episode. So I'm giving up. I'm throwing in the towel for this one. I watched the first full episode for you guys. I had to take a break partway through the first episode to do something else, and I honestly didn't feel like finishing it. That's how not good it is. So Velma, I'm just going to say stay away from it. It's not funny. It's not cool. It's not hip. Glenn Howerton as Fred is the only bright part of the show, and that's still a pretty dim light. So Velma, thumbs down. On the other end of the spectrum, on Netflix, 2 weeks ago was another updated version of a classic show, and that is the sequel to that 70s show, that 90s show. And show is about Eric and Donna's daughter Leia, who is spending the summer with her grandparents, Kitty and Red. And while it's great to see Kitty back, Red back, Jackie, Kelso, Eric, Donna, honestly, growing up with that 70s show, this show, it's not for me. If you're a big fan of that 70s show, it might be for you. Watching the first episode, I liked it, but it seems like they were trying too hard to be a sequel, as opposed to just letting it just be a sitcom that happens in the 90s. What made that 70s show so good, which is why that 80s show failed, is that they weren't pushing the 70s into our face. They weren't pushing the nostalgia into our face. It was just a show that happened to take place in the 70s. When that 80s show came along, what that was, hey, look, we're in the 80s. This is a cordless phone. What's a CD? That's not going to last. Hey, look at this new movie starring 80s movie stars. Yeah, that's the nostalgia. It's trying to cash in on the nostalgia of the original show. And also, Eric and Donna's daughter has potentially, they're setting up for her to have a relationship with Jackie and Kelso's son. Which, if they were following by original show rules, they should have made Eric's child and Don's child a son and used Kelso's daughter from the original series. Because I think that was like a late season edition. So, that 90s show, it's good. I just don't wish to continue watching because it's not really grabbed me. It's just there. Okay, so how about a food review? I was at the store last week. I meant to actually tack this onto my Splash Mountain video, but I was like, I forgot. So I was at the store last week, which had unusual foods that weren't really selling, and I saw these guys, which are Reese's Big Cups with with the Reese's Puffs in them, the cereal. And I was like, you know what? I'll give those a shot. And I was gonna snack it on myself, but I was like, I'll share them with you. So I know this will be the third Reese's Cups that I've shared with you after the pretzels and the potato chips. Can't really see anything through there. Okay. So after the first bite, I'm not seeing any puffs in there. There's a crunch. But yeah, so there's no visible puffs in there, but it is kind of crunchy. It's a good peanut butter cup, but if you're expecting it to be, you know, jam-packed with Reese's Puffs, you're going to be in for a world of breakfast time disappointment. And I'm super cereal about that. So that's it. Hopefully I'll have, I'm going to be working on some recipes hopefully soon. I'm sorry, I know I keep saying that, but I'll get them to you soon. And I got some other tricks up my sleeve. I thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you soon. Peace. Hey everybody, thank you for checking out my video. I really appreciate it. And if you could please check out my other links here above. Like and subscribe. And it really helps me out. And, you know, comment below. Hit the bell if you want to. I really don't like people advising people to do that. But once again, thanks for checking me out. To those who have been with me from the beginning, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you all, and I will see you soon. Peace.